the only podcast not owned by Microsoft. Yet. This is Bombers.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bombers. I have a very important and special, superb announcement for you all. We have just been acquired by Microsoft.
Whoa.
Yeah! We're in the fold.
$47 billion later, and I will see you later.
Oh,
Man, I need to change the opening line now.
we definitely are not valued as well as certain other recent acquisitions from Microsoft, but more about that later in the show. Hi, I am Bomber number 5, Anthony, aka Deg, joined today by the all-wonderful Bomber number 3, Zyber, aka Zyber.
Hello.
And the superb Bomber number
A little
1.
superfluous, a little superb, a little, column A, column B.
Superlicious.
Yeah.
Superlative.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That is the sweet dulcet tones of Bomber number 1, Shay, aka Spiegel.
I think Zyber has a point. I do think we should redo the opening of the show because we need to fix that opening line now that we are owned by Microsoft, just like everybody else.
Well, at the time that it was recorded, we weren't owned by Microsoft.
But
yet,
at the
so I
time
think
everyone's
it's
hearing this, we will be owned by Microsoft. Therefore...
Actually, I just got off the phone with Phil, and he said it's okay to keep the opening line.
Phil is a scumbag. I don't care what anyone says.
Well, I've also been directed by Mr. Spencer. Sorry, apparently I was being too familiar there. That
Your
we
boss.
need to start off, as we have, with a bang. Take us away.
That's right. Last week, I disappointed you all by not having a bang ready to drink. However, gentlemen, I have 2 left. 2 remaining from the original, we began the season with 4 bangs. Then I banged, and then I banged again, and now it's time to get banged a 3rd time. And
This is episode 3, so that math checks out.
yeah, and it's 300 milligrams of caffeine. It's 5:45 p.m. on a Friday night, so let's freaking party. Zyber, I want you to do the honors this week of selecting which of the 2
Almond.
which of the 2 bangs I drink. I have whole lotta chocolata and birthday cake bash.
It's time to have a mouthful of almonds. Do the birthday cake.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Oh, why
Flip
would
your chocolate birthday cake coin and pick a side.
this is the
Yeah,
one.
maybe the last one will actually be tasty, and you'll be able to enjoy it next week.
I do
Doubt
think
it.
there's a chance that the chocolate one is good. I don't think that there's any chance that this is good. But let's.
Is it carbonated?
No. I
Here's
could just.
the good
It
news.
might be.
I'll promise you this, or else things are really wrong. This one shouldn't taste like Smarties.
Oh, these are carbonated. It says carbonated water is one of the.
Oh, then it's not going to taste good.
No.
Well, I'm smelling it,
At
and
least it's
this.
not carbonated spaghetti.
I'm smelling it, and this smells like one of those like funfetti, like Betty Crocker, birthday cake in a box type situations. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it like
It's like, oh, it's a mouthful of sprinkles.
what are those the Dunkamals or the
Dunkables?
yeah
Lunchables, yeah.
no the like
The
Don't you
Lunchables
remember
flavored
when you-
energy drink.
it had like the birthday frosting and you took like the cookie biscuit and dipped it in there. Dunkables.
I'm talking about
Dig, I was
Fun
a
Dip?
civilized kid.
No, Fun Dip is just Smarties ground up.
So is this.
Well, drink it.
I'm stalling because I really don't want to drink.
Yeah, and I noticed. Drink it.
I keep
Do
smelling
it.
it to confirm. Yes, this really does. I mean, you got to give them credit. They nailed the taste or the smell. Like it smells like birthday cake. And I don't know how they do this. Okay, I'm going to stop stalling. All right, here we go. Kanpai.
Do it.
This is the end of all of our lives.
Chug, chug, chug.
I don't see a grimace, so
He might actually like. He's contemplating. He's taking
going for
another
sip
drink.
number 2. There's
I-
the grimace.
I don't-
Sip number 2 brought it out.
This is not good. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever tasted. It's not repulsively bad. It does taste like, well,
Does it taste like almonds?
no.
Does it taste like frosting? He's
I keep
You really
drinking it.
can't tell.
Yeah, what
I'm
what
looking
does it
for.
taste like?
I am looking for a predominant flavor, and I can't find one.
I mean, have you ever had birthday cake ice cream?
What are some of the underlying flavors? I have had birthday cake ice cream. Actually, I think birthday cake ice cream, depending on where you get it and how it's made and etc., it's pretty good.
I love birthday cake ice cream. I made homemade ones before.
Underlying
nice.
flavors: tar and sadness. And
So it's basically
So it's a birthday party.
yeah, it's my
it's a
birthday party.
cigarette.
Yeah,
It's
a cigarette
flavored
flavored energy drink.
tar and sadness.
When you want to feel bad and good at the same time.
It's for quitting smoking because
It's like I tasted getting a birthday card with a message but no money.
Tastes like a birthday card with no check inside.
ouch.
Okay.
That's
All right. What's
glowing review.
So we got stuff. So before we get into the bombastic news, which Zyber will introduce in a second, I'm sure you're all like just dying to know what we think about the Microsoft thing. We are going to get to that. Professional tease, that's coming later in the show. It's going to be such a big topic that we just want to get everything else like out of the way first. So fast forward to like 30 minutes in or whatever, and then rewind it because you don't want to miss a single second.
Wait, what did Microsoft do?
They did stuff. We'll talk about it.
Well, Cyber, you have to continue listening to the podcast to find out.
Whoa.
Man, I was planning on quitting halfway through.
Yeah, well, or you can
Like I
fast
usually
forward to
do.
30 minutes. But
Don't be
I
like
don't
my
know.
employees at work, just quitting their jobs. If you're listening, I hate you.
It was actually announced today that one person just quit unannounced and another person put 2 weeks in at my office.
Getting acquired by Microsoft. All right.
Yeah.
Does
All right,
Bobby
anyways,
Kotick work
yeah,
in your office?
Now that we're done with that news, let's move on to bombastic news.
The real news.
The most important
News
news.
as
The
one
news that never changes. That has been repeated so many damn times, it's not even news anymore. But go ahead.
Well, if you would like for it to change, all you have to do is go to our Patreon and give us money, and then we'll have to add your name to the list of friends or best friends, or even
Executive bomb
Executive Bomb-Deucer.
Anywhere between $20 and $100 a month will get you the privilege of being an executive bomb-deucer.
Anyways, shout outs to our current best friends, Anne, Rob, and Josie, and our friends Haley, Himaru, and Minted Peas for being such great friends of ours to give us money. Also, if you really want to have more fun with us, feel free to join our Discord, link in the description below, where we talk about stuff. A lot of fun, pretty example-y. We also play video games on Twitch. Just a couple days ago of you listening to this on the release day, we did our community night run on Thursday. Played Jackbox. You should join us and play other games. We announced. Oh yeah, this is Bombers.
Yeah, so
you can also see us.
Anthony,
Just Google "This is Bombers." You'll probably find a bunch of different things like Twitter and email and such.
Anthony and I are talking on our Google document while Zyber is reading the bombastic
are.
news. Like we're just typing a bunch of nonsense. Like, hey, can we announce this? Can we announce this? We actually do have actual real news this week. So I hope you didn't just fast forward through it.
But we're writing these messages like on Zyber's script. It's
I haven't posted the taco of the day picture yet.
Oh man, get with it. What was your taco today?
Tollpatch face.
It was Doritos Locos Taco Supreme.
Burritos Locos? 'Cause-
Doritos.
No, hold on. Let's workshop this Burritos Locos. How would that function? What do we do for that? I want that to be a thing now.
I mean, it would probably be like a burrito, but with instead of red strips, even though they're called Fiesta strips now, they recently did that. It would be the Doritos and the burrito.
Not like, would it be Doritos or would it be the Dorito shells but crunched up?
It's not a flour tortilla at all. It's instead of flour, it's made with Dorito dust, like concentrated.
I mean, they would make they would make the Doritos into the strip shapes.
It's Dorito dust and milk. Everyone's favorite. It would taste a lot like a Bang energy drink.
I mean, isn't that a thing, Dorito cereal? Anyway, are you guys actually announcing anything, or am I just going to keep talking?
Well, go ahead, Anthony. You go first, because mine is probably a bigger bombshell.
Wow, really? You think so?
Well, yeah, because I've been so, opposed in the past. Like, this is a changing of the guard, a changing of the mind, a changing of philosophy.
Wait, are you retiring?
Yeah, but that's just Anthony. Do yours first.
He's retiring, but then we're hiring a new bomber number 1 whose name is Shay. And,
my finger is bleeding.
Goes by AKA Spiegel, and unlike the previous Shay, this Shay's finger is bleeding.
Yeah, this might be bad. I got some birthday cake in my finger wound.
He's a year older.
See, this is why you don't skip the bombastic news, because you never know
when we'll go off the rails.
The teleprompter has broken, ladies and gentlemen.
You'll never know when we'll actually get to the next section.
So the big news item that I have to announce is that in lieu of being smart and going to sleep, I spent pretty much all of last night working and creating ThisIsBombers.com, a new wonderful website for all of your bombersing needs. Go to ThisIsBombers.com to check out things such as how to listen to the podcast that you're listening to, or how to watch us stream like Zyber just announced, or links to our Discord like down below in the description, and things like that.
Can I be honest with you, dude? Like, I actually had not looked at this website yet. I saw that you had made it, and I was like, well, you just, check it out later. I'm looking at it now. This looks pretty good. This is like a real website.
We have joined the .com bubble.
We are in the burst.
Send us your money now. We totally won't end run you or anything.
We have caused the burst because we are the bombers.
Hopefully by the time this episode releases, we'll actually have finished the parts of it that currently say pending.
No, it's way better this way. Just keep it. Just who are the bombers? Well, description pending. It's all good.
Cyber is the mysterious one. And so are Anthony and Shay.
Yeah, I do want to actually put that's look. We'll talk about this. Clearly, we have to leave it now. Like
the new Shay we hired looks a lot like John Krasinski. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. I look like John Krasinski with a beard in A Quiet Place and a hat.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, sure.
My news.
That's my news.
Yes, and my news.
Sorry,
What?
My news.
What's Zyber? I want to know what Zyber's news is.
Yeah, what's your news? Are you getting married again?
No. Currently, my wife is making dinner.
It's pretty good news. What are you having for dinner?
Stir fry.
Way more exciting than whatever Shay's news was.
Yeah, she's going to deliver it to me once it's done.
Like beef stir fry or
chicken stir fry?
Nice.
Because we needed to use the chicken.
What's your vegetables?
Yeah, thank you.
There's onions.
Ugh.
You need more than onions.
I don't like
I know, there's other stuff too. I forget what was in it.
I don't like to crunch on onions. It's sort of, I don't know. I don't like the texture.
She doesn't like peas.
Oh, peas are okay.
Oh, come on.
I like a pea. I like a good pea.
You know what? I love peas because peas is a friend of the show.
Hey, all right.
I think we all need some peas on Earth.
All right, I'm done with Cyber.
My
Shay,
news
what's your story?
is that it's time for Shay, old Spiegel Wee, old Ice Danger himself, old Blue Eyes.
Spiggle Y?
I will be Spiggle Y is joining the 21st century, and guess what, guys? I have finally given up my stance on no streaming. I will be streaming games for the Bombers. Some of you think that I perhaps am the most entertaining bomber. I question your judgment. However, if you would like to watch me stream games, I will be doing so in the future. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what the games are going to be. I don't know what the cadence is for when I do it, or we don't know any of the details yet. And I'm really good at announcing things that are just like half baked, just to like string people along. This is one of those times. But I will be streaming games. I literally bought a capture card with the money that you all have so generously donated to the show, and that this is proof that we are putting it back into the community. Your money literally got me to change my opinion on whether I like streaming or not.
Yep. So look forward to weekly sports game streams from...
It's not just going to be sports games. Like, I did get a request to play a lot of NCAA Football 14, but maybe I'll play some Bionicle Heroes. We'll see.
That's a sports game.
Well, in a way.
Lego's
Mario Kart, sports game.
Riders Republic. Yee.
you think about it, like all games are really sports games because esports and you need like thumbs to be good at sports.
No, all games are RPGs because they're games which you are playing a particular role.
Oh, are we gonna look? Discard has already left the server. You're not going to chase him away again.
Retread that as much as I want.
Whatever.
It's terrible.
I'm sending this episode
Let's
to him.
move on.
What other games could you potentially play in the future, such as the things that are coming out soon?
Yes, it is time for upcoming releases, the hot new releases, and we got a couple.
Smooth transition.
We got a couple. First of all,
weirdly enough,
can I do the? Am I too excited? Am I just talking over everybody?
No, I think I'm too excited.
You excited to play the Artful Escape of? I'm pretty sure the game is not called The Artful Escape. I think there's like a extra part to that title.
I'm Googleizing it.
The Artful Escape of Francis Vendetti.
I just see The Artful Escape on the internet.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
Vendetta against this.
Who's Francis Vendetti?
You know what? That was the original title of the game when they revealed it. Anyway, it came out on Xbox One and Xbox and PC back in 2021, like in September. And that was a timed exclusive. It's coming to Switch and PS4 and PS5 next week on the 25th. Or this week, actually, on the 25th, which is Tuesday. Check that out. It got some good reviews. It's a platformer. It's got some pretty cool visuals. It looks pretty awesome. You guys going to pick that thing up, maybe? You guys like platformers?
Probably not.
What?
I opened up the Steam page and I'm looking at the trailer and it looks like just an acid trip, and I don't know if this is the same game.
You like acid?
I don't know. Is this a platformer? What am I looking at?
Yeah, it's a platformer. He's escaping artfully, and while on acid. That's all you need to know.
Fair enough.
The guy's mind is exploding with a person holding a guitar.
It has a guitar, right?
Yes, there is a guitar.
Okay.
January 28th. Zyber, you getting Pokemon Legends Arceus? Because I don't know anymore. Like, I just don't know. I just want to see those
Do you really
reviews.
think that Haley doesn't have this pre-ordered?
I know Haley does. I asked if you are getting this.
Or are you just going to play Haley's version?
Just going to play hers, because there's no double version, so I'll gladly wait my turn.
Oh, that's true. You could just grab the cart and just put it in your Switch, and yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Myths Arceus.
I mean, it would be cool if it had co-op like the Pokemon Go did. So yeah, sure, I'll throw the Pokeballs for you.
That'd be real fun. That'd be a great way to...
I'll tackle the Pokemon with my body.
I'm not sure how I feel about the term girlfriend mode in video games. Like, I remember they used it a lot, like around Super Mario Galaxy when you had the second player that could like collect star bits, and a lot of people derisively referred to it as girlfriend mode.
I always thought of it as like small child and parent mode.
Probably not a phrase, girlfriend mode, that you should use in 2022, but at the same time, it certainly is evocative of that era.
Partner
anyway.
mode.
So,
yeah, like Brawl was similar thing, and people calling it that for the campaign.
Oh, there was a girlfriend mode in the Subspace Emissary.
Girlfriend? Because like it's 2-player, but the camera only follows one person, and the second person cannot die unless they're hit off screen. Like if they are just off screen, they just teleport back.
So it's Tails from Sonic and Tails.
Yeah, or Sonic 2.
Yeah,
which Tails is a god, so that makes sense.
Tails can never die.
What?
Nope.
What I'm saying is this whole second player that's not really there thing has been around since at least Sonic 2.
It's not girlfriend mode, it's god mode.
It's Tails mode. I'm rebranding it.
I was just confused because Zyber said Tails is a god, and it threw me off my game. I don't know what happened.
It's true though.
It's true.
I actually, weirdly enough, I pre-ordered Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Did you?
Because I found a deal that was like pre-order it for $41 plus tax or something like that. $45 plus tax.
I think I saw that deal. I should have jumped on that too, because I know I'm going to end up buying it. I ended up buying Pokemon Shining Pearl, which I didn't. We'll talk about that in a minute, but
Oh boy.
Well, hold on though.
Finish that.
Hold on. I got some maybe some positive feedback on that maybe you wouldn't expect.
Interesting.
That's a professional tease.
I don't see any more upcoming releases, so let's just move on to the Minish recap and talk about you buying and purchasing and playing Pokemon Shining Pearl.
Okay, so we'll just go right into it. Okay, well, that's not much of a tease. Let's pad this out a little bit so that people can get. We've the whole episode is just teasing things and people anticipating them. The Microsoft thing, the me streaming thing, the me playing Pokemon Shining Pearl and kind of liking it thing.
Having descriptions on the website.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like Pokemon Shining Pearl. So, context. Gen 4 of Pokemon, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and Heart, Gold, Soul, Silver is my favorite generation of Pokemon. That was the generation of Pokemon where I was coming of age. I was in junior high school, and going into high school, those games were coming out. And
it was the beginning of the decline instead of, like, the middle or the end of the decline.
What do you... No, I don't agree with that at all.
I
don't agree with that at all.
There.
I thought...
things went downhill from there.
That's wrong. Gen 5 was really good.
Which one's Gen 5?
That's
Gen
black
5
and white.
is black and white.
Yeah, okay.
The one that was divisive for stupid reasons.
I stand by what I said.
It's divisive because it came out on the DS in 2012 after the 3DS was already out, and everyone's like, why are these games not in 3D? And it's like, are you guys stupid? You can play it on your 3DS. Like, it's still a 3DS game. Anyway.
I stand by what I said.
Pokemon Shining Pearl or Shining Pearl, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is the remake of that generation of games. And to be honest with you, it's like bringing back all of these really good memories I have of playing those games with my friends. And look, if you've played those games, probably not a hell of a good reason to like go and revisit it for $60 in 2022. Just if you have the original, just play that. And you know, I am a sucker to end all suckers when it comes to like buying Nintendo remakes. I just buy them and I have a great time with them. And at the end, it's like a car crash. I'm like, wait, what just happened? Did I just pay $60?
Did you get Link's Awakening?
I did.
I did.
I ended up regretting that one in the end. Maybe the same thing will happen, but I did like Link's Awakening as I was playing through it. I got so annoyed by the end because I'm like, why did I do this? So maybe the same thing will happen.
I just replayed the original.
But yeah, I mean, if you never played them, certainly pick this game up because I really like Gen 4 and that I will stand by it. And I'm doing some stuff that I've never tried before. I have a bad habit in Pokemon games of like not using my items ever. So I'm making a conscious effort that when I get items like a potion, like use it if I need it. Don't go back to the Pokemon Center after one battle just because you got hurt. So just I'm trying to make the game a more enjoyable experience. I'm doing things that maybe I wouldn't normally do like that. And I don't know. What can I say? I am enjoying it.
Yeah, my Pokemon childhood was, of course, Gen 1, because, you know, I'm old.
Because you're old as F.
And I did not have the same experience with Fire Red and Leaf Green. I ended up getting Fire Red, and it made me just want to play the original more because they had done the updates to make it more like Gen whatever it was that came out, 3,
Gen 3.
4.
That's why I like those games, is because I don't like Pokemon Gen 1 or Gen 2. I think they're too... They have problems.
And I didn't like the updates with all of the, like, holding items and making friends with... Like, I don't want to be friends with my Pokemon. We're Animal Fight Club. Let's go.
There's no friendship in Fire Red and Leaf Green.
I think there is.
No, there's no friendship.
No? There's still item holding and like natures and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't care about any of this stuff.
But that's what makes a good RPG is like that type of stuff. So like you're saying that you prefer Pokemon as a simpler, easier RPG than as a more complex one?
Yeah, actually, I am saying that.
Apparently, friendship was introduced in Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah.
Only
you mean like the friendship hidden statistic that like determines whether your Pokemon evolve or whatever? I thought you meant like the stupid,
friendship, not like Pokemon Ami or whatever.
Yeah, that's the worst.
No, but friendship stats were a thing that existed in Fire Red, and I do like more simplified Pokemon because when I'm playing Pokemon, I want a just nice casual experience. I don't need to get into the nitty gritty. I just want to play through it and have fun and collect monsters.
Pokemon will always be a casual experience.
I feel like that should be even more like. So many people complain about Pokemon games because they're opposite of that, so it's really weird to hear someone complain about Pokemon games for just wanting to be a casual player.
I mean, Game Freak really can't win at this point with the hole they've dug themselves. I mean, it's kind of like the Smash Brothers thing where it's like, where the hell do you even go from here and like satisfy anybody? I don't know that you can.
But I did pre-order Legends Arceus, and we'll see how I feel about that.
I've been asking for a while for them to try a ATB route with Pokemon, and so like I think that's what Arceus is. So
it should be a cool shake-up. And like I had a good time for as much as I played of Sword Shield. I enjoyed it, so it was better than Sun and Moon in my opinion.
I mean, that's not even a comparison in my mind.
Yeah,
but I don't have a lot of comparisons to make because I was out of Pokemon for so long.
That's true.
X and Y and Sun and Moon were my least favorite.
A lot of people that I've talked to really like X and Y, and like, I just can't even wrap my head around that concept. That game was
boringly easy.
It was barren. It was boring. It was easy. It was like it felt personalityless. Plus, France is stupid. Can we all just agree on that point? France is really a bad place to set a Pokemon game.
Couldn't tell you.
France
played Gen 1 and I played Gen 1 and Gen 2, skipped Gen 3, played Gen 4, and then didn't play again until Sun and Moon, which is Gen number.
They should do a Pokemon in space. They should do like a Pokemon on Mars, like you're colonizing another planet and you brought Pokemon with you.
Sort of like
Colosseum. There's no international decks then. It's a
intergalactic
decks.
There's no other Pokemon. It's just the one that you brought with you. That's the only Pokemon there.
You start making when they're very Chanseys or Clefairies, whichever one it is.
No, because you're not on the moon, you're on Mars.
Oh, I thought you said the moon.
And then Darkrai opens a portal to hell, and demons come in, and then it becomes Doom. Doom.
Yeah, apparently you could find Deoxys out in space.
I'd play Pokedoom.
Pokedoom? I'd play that. I also played, I mentioned earlier, I played some Bionicle Heroes, which is a third-person shooter starring everyone's favorite Lego offshoot called Bionicle, which I didn't know that Bionicle was Legos. Because I didn't play with Legos. No, I didn't play with Legos growing up or anything like that. Like I just kind of ignored all that stuff.
Lego Ninjaga.
Dude, that's a newer thing for us.
I don't know what any of that stuff is. So I popped the game in and they were like, collect Legos. And I was like, what?
Oh.
So it took me a minute to realize what that was. Anyway, it's stupid. It's not very good. It's got a lot of the same like concepts as the Lego games, which I also don't like very much. But it's a shooter, so it's fairly active and engaging, and it's super easy. And it's not great, but it's a game. It's fine. I'd say it's aggressively fine is how I would describe it. And no comments on Bionicle? Okay, not really.
So I was checking to see if there were Connects video games.
They were probably not.
I'm very disappointed.
Any Lincoln Log video games?
The Oregon Trail, I think, had some Lincoln Logs in it.
Virtual Connects, Windows CD-ROM. All right, found one.
All right.
Lincoln Logs video games is literally any like survival crafting type game, like Valheim or whatever.
But is it Lincoln Log brand?
No, it's not. Minecraft.
Don't you know Valheim is just Oregon Trail?
Is there a company that owns the rights to the term Lincoln Logs? Like, who owns that?
Yeah, the Lincoln Log Company.
The estate of Mr. Abraham Lincoln. I also played.
Apparently, its 100th anniversary happened recently of Lincoln Logs.
Okay. I also played some House in Fata Morgana, and actually I finished it. I finished the main story. I'm going to be going back and getting the additional endings here, because there's 8 of them. I've gotten 3 of them, I think. What?
That's really interesting. I want to go back to this Lincoln Logs thing. So I looked
Are you serious?
Well, you'll never guess who owns it.
Connects Industries had the rights to make Lincoln Logs, and then they went bankrupt, and it is now owned by Hasbro. But it all connects. Everything's connected, man.
Oh,
brick by brick.
I'm getting some breaking news. Microsoft has purchased the rights to Hasbro and Lincoln Logs to the tune of $23 billion.
Look forward to the Lincoln Logs IP rebranding and return to form.
Call of Duty
now that you
loot
made
boxes
that comparison, though,
made of Lincoln Logs.
How has Hasbro not become a monopoly? Like, they own
all of the toys.
They own Monopoly.
They own Monopoly, yeah.
How have the owners of Monopoly not become a monopoly? Is
I
it
think
because they just
Mattel is
own
still
everything?
providing some heavy competition with its Barbie franchise and its
Other toys.
Intellivision console. That's hot. That's a hot new toy.
With the Barbie television console.
The Barbie TV game Color 8.
Well, and also Lego Group still exists, so that's another toy.
Well, according to an article 4 years ago, Hasbro has Monopoly with toy fans as Mattel struggles.
I mean, that's not a true monopoly. Just because one company sucks and the other is successful, that's not a monopoly. That's just fans prefer one company to another.
It's a pun. That's all it is.
It is a yes, it is. But it's the dumb article title as well.
I mean, anyways, this is no longer a video game podcast. This is a Lego podcast. Go.
Bionicles are stupid and they look bad.
I
They
got
have
a Lego
no
Harry
defining
Potter
characteristics.
set for Christmas. I need to build it still.
Which one? Which Harry Potter set you get?
The 9 3/4 platform. Apparently, my brother and sister-in-law looked into giving me the castle, and they're like, "Oh wait, that's expensive." I'm just like, "Yeah."
Oh, you're not worth that much.
Well,
Just
it's
get
like
you
200 something bucks, I think. Although that was when I was a kid. It's probably worth more now. That's the reason I got the Lego magazines when I was a kid, because I loved seeing all the different Harry Potter sets that I would never be able to buy.
I always liked the Lego architecture series that has the real world or the Sears Tower and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh yeah, my parents got me a train, a battleship, and a spaceship once, one of those giant things. It was so much fun to build.
Like the real world space shuttle.
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
months to build it.
I had this crazy space shuttle looking thing. It was like a rocket ship, and you would put a little card into it, and it would read out details from the card electronically. I had this little voice, and it taught me a bunch of facts about space. You had cards for all the moons of Jupiter, all their defining characteristics, and all the planets, and it was awesome. I wish I could remember what company made it. It was Leapfrog maybe, or one of those.
That wouldn't surprise me.
They make learning fun or something.
Yeah, sadly, an ex-friend accidentally dropped a chair on my battleship and it broke in half, never to be reconnected. And the other two things were sitting on the top of the kitchen and were extremely coated in dust after a decade.
Can I ask why they are your ex-friend?
Because they broke the battleship.
This was grade school.
So it's because they broke the battleship.
That was one of the things. He also dropped a brick on my sister on accident. I'm more upset about the battleship, though.
Oh, God. Oh, what is going on? All right. I played some House and Fata Morgana. That's a visual novel. You know what? I was going to talk about it. I was ready to talk about it this week. Well, I'm going to finish it up. I'm going to finish it up tomorrow. I haven't gotten all the endings yet. It's really awesome. I want to do it justice. All right. What did other people do?
I went back and played a little bit more of Riders Republic, and I gotta say, it's still enjoyable. It wasn't just a one-time thing. I picked it up again and had fun just doing the races and stuff. So I gotta keep saying, it's a worthwhile pickup for $20-$30. I also played Hell Let Loose, which is a World War II realism simulator. It's super unforgiving. You'll just walk out and die a lot, but if you get into it with a squad, it has a really cool squad mechanic for radio communication where each side in a battle has a commander that can drop supplies for building defenses and stuff like that. And then you have different squad groups, and each squad group has a squad commander who can go onto a command network to talk to all of the squads to get an idea of what the battlefield looks like. But if you're just a normal infantry soldier, you don't have access to that. So your only way of knowing what the wider battle looks like is through your commander telling you. Otherwise, it's just deal with the firefight that you're in. There's levels to that strategy and immersion. Really good. Really cool.
So it's like MAG, but playable. Because you're saying there's a commander. Are they giving, is another player giving you commands and they
Yes.
are. So it's like MAG.
Except that the commander is not. It's not like Mag. The commander is not just like playing an RTS game. The commander is an actual person on the battlefield. So that's what I mean by realism sim. Like their character is a character on the battlefield, and their knowing things that's going on is because they're getting reports from all of the other squad commanders.
Can you play as a...
Are these all players, or...
Yeah, they're all people, all players.
You're just role-playing a battle in a video game.
Yeah, and it's really cool.
Can you play as a politician sending the poor off to fight while you sit in your cushy...
It doesn't get that far. It's a little more granular than that.
So it's not that good of a simulation.
You don't get to be the manufacturing companies building tanks and stuff what they normally build.
Can you be the CEO of a company that is perpetuating the military-industrial complex?
Well, it's World War II, so it was like before that, really.
Well, that kind of what
kicked it off. Trying to invent new stuff.
That's what kicked it off. So it was before.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, could you be one of those like pioneering CEOs that ruined the country?
They only really started doing that once the war was over, and they realized that they didn't have the income from the war anymore, and something politics.
I'm just kidding. Microsoft ruined the country, and we'll get to that in a minute. Zyber, what did you play?
I played Neversong.
Dude, I want to know more about this game because it released a couple years ago.
Made Tony Hawk?
No, that's...
No.
Neversong.
So Neversong is an indie game developed by American indie studios Atmos Games and Serenity Forge.
I know.
Released
exactly.
October 29th, 2019 at 7 p.m. Central Time. Why does it have the time?
Getting really granular on this.
Well, it was a Kickstarter campaign, so all that stuff has to be public record, I guess.
Okay. So, anyway, Neversong is a psychological adventure game, platform kind of thing. You swing a bat around, hit things, solve puzzles. Basically, you start out, you're a kid who woke up from a coma. Turns out that you, peed your pants and went into a coma when the scary guy kidnapped your girlfriend.
Oh, I hate when that happens. So
now all the kids are all like, wow, you suck. And then you go try to rescue your girlfriend.
How long were you in a coma? Is that spoilers?
I don't know how long, actually.
You're still
long
in
enough
the
that
coma.
all the adults are, gone. So it's just you and the other weird kids.
I feel like there's a lot of story elements that are missing from this setup.
Well, yeah.
This game came out a couple years ago. It kind of got okay reviews, but I always thought it looked interesting. I think they might have showed it off at one of those Microsoft, like the Microsoft E3 event where they showed the Xbox indie games or whatever. I think it might have been one of those featured ones, or maybe I'm misremembering because it doesn't even look like it came out on Xbox.
It came out on Xbox One.
Wait,
it did?
You play a kid who's in a coma, so it's Pokemon?
No, it's Rugrats. The babies are dead.
Yeah, Ed, and Eddie, that's right.
Yeah.
Everything is in a
Rocket
coma.
power.
I'm in a coma right now. I wish I would wake up and be done with this.
The only podcast that puts you in a coma.
Feels like I'm in a coma after this birthday cake bash.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun. All the kids are fun characters to talk with. They got different dialogue paths so you can start back up to see what else they want to say. The gameplay is pretty, smooth and such. Didn't really have any kind of glitchy issues or anything like that. And it has that kind of horror element to it, too, that makes me, whoa. Horror stuff is happening.
Makes me whoa, man.
Whoa.
That was, totally awesome, bro. So when you say horror, is it jump scares, or does it have these creepy elements like Oxenfree did, or what would you?
It's psychological horror, so nothing, no jump scare kind of stuff.
I gotta check this thing out.
I mean, just the intro of the game, it has you in this weird building, and then as you're traveling around, you'll start noticing that there's people with knives on the other side of the windows.
Things are off.
Yeah. The ending isn't that great, but the rest of the game is good.
He was dreaming the whole time. He was dreaming that he was in a coma.
That's how comas work in a lot of fiction.
He actually has amnesia.
Oh, so it's an RPG.
He's an orphan with amnesia.
JRPG. Gotcha.
It's a coming of age story.
It's an isekai.
It's a Bildungsroman. Neversong in stores now.
Speaking
Anthony,
of psychological horror,
It's like $15, and it
This is
probably
not
will go on sale
psychological.
in days.
This is very aggressive, like in your face horror, ruining the game industry type of horror. Anthony, it is time for the Weekly Bomb, which is going to close this show as we rant ourselves into oblivion. Oh,
Into
I'm
a
getting
coma.
choked up over here. I'm so sad.
wait, what happened? What's the Weekly Bomb?
I don't know. This is your segment. You introduce it.
You just introduced it. The Weekly Bomb, where we come up with news items that are either a bomb or the bomb. Spoiler alert, this is a bomb.
Well,
So we
let's
have
not
one
give it
news
all
item.
away.
We have
So
one news item
save
to
the
discuss. And we've talked about it and hinted for it. And I'm going to draw it out some more because apparently that's what this episode is all about. Microsoft has purchased Activision to the tune of, what was it, like 27, 23 billion?
Dude, 68.7 billion.
That is way. I was thinking of the Bethesda purchase was like 23, wasn't it?
The Bethesda purchase I think was under 10. Where are you getting your facts from, man? It
I
was
don't
like
know.
8. I think Bethesda was like 8 billion or something like that.
This is Bombers. We do not fact check.
I mean, okay, so we're no better than the news. All right, that's fine.
I mean, this is the news segment. We come up with news items. Yeah. Okay. So like a lot of money was spent by Microsoft to buy Activision, and yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? There's what's left now out there as independent third-party game developers at this point, like Ubisoft.
It's not just Activision; it's Activision Blizzard.
That happened a long time ago.
Just because I feel as though we are responsible for providing additional context for those of you who, just have no idea, what the value of a dollar is, let alone $68 billion. You want to know how much Disney acquired Marvel and Lucasfilm for in 2009 and 2012?
Yes.
A grand total of $8 billion. So... the power of Call of Duty and Candy Crush and World of Warcraft has never been less understated in the history of anything, because this is such an insane amount of money that I think Microsoft is probably the only company that could have pulled this off. There has obviously been a ton of controversy surrounding Activision Blizzard and the employee, the culture, amongst the employees, and we're not here to really get into any of that stuff. I'm not really interested in discussing any of that stuff because it's not...
The only thing that's worth bringing up with that is that all of that controversy did, in fact, drive down the stock prices for Activision Blizzard, which is what led Microsoft to being able to do this in the first place, or else it would have been way more expensive than it is.
It's like Activision was already an issue to me. It seemed like they were just like buying all these games or developers and such. I mean, and then Microsoft buys all of that.
But just buys Activision.
Yeah. It's like, look, we're going to be a giant company, and they basically were. And Microsoft's all like, gulp.
Cool, we're bigger. It's like the those like fish tank games where you slowly get bigger as you eat things, except Microsoft was already the big fish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Flow, but entertaining. Also, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, former CEO. I don't know if there's a lot of stuff
active.
Still, but we're pretty sure he's going to get that big payout and retire happily, while all of his employees suffer under this new iron-fisted regime. As these things go. Well, I mean, I would too. Everyone would. That's not the point.
Probably start like an indie company or something.
That's not the point. The point is, Bobby Kotick came from the packaged foods industry, and anyone who's followed the video games industry for a long time knows this, because Activision has been treating its products like packaged food for basically the entirety of his presidency, in that games are made yearly, they are to be consumed and thrown away regularly. Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk, Call of Duty, all game franchises that have been arguably run into the ground under Bobby Kotick's ownership. Not ownership, excuse me. His leadership as CEO of Activision. Leadership, thank you.
Well, it almost kind of, in a way, silver linings the Microsoft purchase, because part of the deal as well is that Phil Spencer has in fact been made CEO of Microsoft Gaming. So we'll see how that plays out, but it does mean that hopefully, I already saw some articles reporting that, for instance, Call of Duty will not be on a yearly release schedule and etc. So
I
hopefully
will believe that when I see it. I do not buy that for a second. Not right now, anyway.
Yeah, but if Kotick does in fact retire and leaves the industry, and that shakes up the leadership overall, and we do see that change to a yearly release, or to not a yearly release, that hopefully will reduce some of the strain on the employees that are having to do crunch time to make yearly releases, and it will reduce fatigue on the consumers' wallets and just general buying fatigue in general.
Wasn't that the point, though, of like 3 companies making Call of Duty games? Was that actually was like 2 or 3 years of developing it then?
Well, it sure hasn't shown in the product.
Well, you are taking an incredibly FIFA, rosy view of the situation here, which is that you're assuming that because Microsoft now owns the Call of Duty property, that they're not going to continue to whore it out with Treyarch and Ravensoft and Infinity Ward, the irrelevant one, year after year. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't continue to do that unless they feel like the Call of Duty brand is weak, and I don't see that based on the sales, based on the continuing relevance year after year. Microsoft has dollars behind them for marketing that even Activision didn't have, and they can very easily squash EA like a bug. With especially with all the problems that Battlefield has had as of late. I mean, if you thought Call of Duty was the premier third-person shooter on the market before, I mean, you haven't seen anything yet until you see Microsoft.
Yeah, because like what we've seen from Microsoft is that either they do terrible with the company, like Rare, but that was also a while ago, or they like don't really do much that the average person even notices a change in the company. So I'm not.
They let a lot of times they just let the company continue on as it was.
Yeah, so like if there's talks of like, oh, we're gonna do this and that and stuff, until well, have they? Like, I just don't believe it yet. They haven't actually like taken full control and like did anything yet.
Well, yeah, because the deal has not even finalized yet.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even if they outright say, yeah, we're going to do this, I'm not going to believe it. But so far, like, have they even done much of that? It's mostly just people speculating, oh, what are they going to do? Nothing, probably.
Well, I mean, we are talking, of things that can only be speculated on. And
what can't be speculated on is that the deal probably will finalize. And then we'll see what happens with any form of regulatory review on the deal, because that'll probably happen.
Well, we should say that, like, at least they've already announced that, yes, we're not going to break contracts with what Sony already had with them, which is good because, like, don't break contracts, guys.
But how long do those contracts run out? Like, do they go to 2030, 2040? Are we talking PS6, PS7? No, probably PS5. I would have to imagine that it's probably for the lifespan of this console, and then then what?
I would say so because like the last contracts beforehand were for PS4. So
well, are they linked to consoles or are they linked to time periods? Is it a 10-year
they're probably linked to time periods,
or?
but at the same time, like that probably is relatively aligned with the general lifespan of a console now, which is anywhere between 7 to 9 years.
Sony probably already has dated when they're going to release the next console.
They probably have like a target date, I would imagine, and we're probably talking somewhere around like 2029, 2030. So we'll see.
An internal target date, yeah. Nothing hard.
Wink.
But
it's gonna be in 3 years.
PlayStation 6 in stores today. Surprise.
As we said, we can only speculate, but that's sort of the point: is what are the ramifications and fallouts of this deal going to be for the industry at large?
Well, and so primarily you have to ask the question, what does this mean for Sony? Can Sony survive at the end of this, like when this contract runs out and Microsoft has exclusive rights to Call of Duty and, whatever, World of Warcraft is,
like World of Warcraft, PS3,
Candy
Xbox.
Crush are not things that, sorry, go ahead.
Blizzard games in general.
If this was PS3, Xbox 360 generation, I would probably be a lot more concerned for Sony because, like, Activision was the games for a lot of people to be playing and such. I am less worried now. I mean, for one thing, I don't care about Activision games, mostly. But
almost entirely.
Almost entirely. Like, they own Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, so I have to hate them for that. But other than that, like, I don't care about Call of Duty. there is plenty of other first-person shooter games people should be trying. Like my dad, he's super into Call of Duty. The only reason he's into it is because that's where all of his like cousins and friends play. He tried Battlefield a few times and he loved it so much more, back in the PS3 days anyway. I'm not saying right now. And so it's just like, well, try other games. Maybe you'll like Rainbow Six or other games. There's a lot of other FPSs.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. It's still really terrible, I think, for Microsoft to just keep buying all these companies and such. Like, go do your own stuff. But
on the other hand, they technically are doing their own stuff now that they own it. Like, this just massively increases the library for Game Pass, which consists of all first-party Microsoft, and now half of the industry is first-party Microsoft.
Yeah, there's a serious power imbalance as far as like who owns most of the most popular IP. Like, they're pretty much all with Microsoft now. Like, I would say of the top 5 IP, 1 is Call of Duty, 2 is probably World of Warcraft, if we're being completely honest. Not number 2, but it's probably in the top 5 in terms of amount of dollars that are poured into subscriptions annually. And maybe that's not the case anymore. There was all that controversy that led to a lot of people canceling, and we're certainly like far away from like the 2005 heyday. But I think that franchise peaked in like 2009, so it still had some level of staying power. And the franchise, like that IP definitely still has cachet amongst like PC gamers out there. So we're talking at least 2 of the top 5, held in Microsoft's hand at this point. I don't know what Sony has that can compete.
So you were asking on Discord earlier today, Shay, like, what 360 games should I get on the PS3 instead? And like, I was thinking of all the PS3 games I played. I'm just like, dang, most of these aren't even on the 360. Like, most of my PS3 games are Sony exclusive games.
I mean, that's
it was a different time. It was a very different time.
Yes and no. Like, I mean, Sony is now releasing some games on the PC, but like, there's still Sony exclusives that Microsoft never had control of or access to.
I mean, the Sony exclusives, the first-party Sony games, are the big console sellers for the PlayStation 5 currently. Like, I'm sure there are some people, but for the most part, people are buying the PlayStation 5 because they want the Sony games, not because they want to play Call of Duty.
But Heavenly Sword is gone. Folklore is gone. Jak and Daxter is gone. Dark Cloud is gone. These are all games.
Jak and Daxter is owned by the Naughty Dog.
They're owned by Naughty. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they can't use it. I'm saying that Sony has moved away from the kind of mid-tier exclusive over the past few years, and they've even, put out articles. There have been articles and reports galore saying that Sony is moving towards this like huge development cycle. Games like Ghost of Tsushima, games like God of War, like these are going to be the big Horizon Forbidden West, the big tentpole releases only for Sony. Like they are out of the let's make kind of like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, like smaller, like kind of AA, AAA type releases. They're not doing that anymore. That's not the Sony that we haven't seen that Sony now for like a decade.
I mean, Jak and Daxter was a AAA game at the time.
What Shay is saying is that now we're seeing like quad A style releases as being the big things from Sony. And we're not getting even the AAAs like Jak and Daxter. It's all just the big stuff.
Jak and Daxter would not be viewed as a AAA game if it was released or revived today. I don't think Ratchet and Clank is really viewed as a big tentpole AAA release.
Well, no, that's like when Yooka-Laylee came out, and people were all like, ew, it's exactly like Banjo-Kazooie. And the developers were like, yeah, that was the point.
Exactly. Like, Sony would never put a significant amount of resources into reviving a bunch of their old classic like AA IPs. Like they'll stick with Ratchet because it sells, but not because it's like what the direction they want their company to go. And I just don't know that right now they have the variety to survive in this environment where they get 3 big releases a year, and that's kind of it.
I'd say that's not
Microsoft has like Call of Duty and all that stuff.
I'd say that's not just Sony though. Like Insomniac moved from. Not Insomniac. Sucker Punch moved from Sly Cooper to Infamous, and they're just like, yeah, this is what we feel like doing. Not
and Ghost of
coughing on
Tsushima
rice.
Is Sucker Punch right now.
Yeah. Naughty Dog moved from Jak and Daxter to
that one game, Uncharted.
Uncharted,
The
yes.
Last of Us, yeah.
And it's like, I'm not necessarily a fan of Uncharted, but it's like, hey, it's what they want to do. This is all before they got bought by Sony, so it's not like Sony is forcing them to make these different games.
Yeah, the direction is coming internal to those companies and not necessarily enforced by Sony. But
Well, you can make the argument that the dollars that Sony is giving those companies to make those games instead of making like potentially, an Infamous 4 or whatever, or even a smaller like a Return to Sly Cooper for Insomniac,
it doesn't invalidate
Sucker
what you
Punch.
were
Sorry,
saying, yeah.
I just did the same thing. It's hard to keep all these companies straight. Anyway, I don't know. This move really bums me out. Just as a kind of put a bow on it, I'm really bummed out by this.
Yeah, because I think I brought this up at the beginning of this conversation. It is interesting to think about what the landscape looks like, other than, what does that leave for third parties? We've got Valve, which is barely a third party.
Do they make
at these
games
points.
anymore?
Yeah, exactly. They put out Alex, but one could say that Valve is sort of in the competition in the PC sphere, which Microsoft has been edging in on a lot more aggressively recently.
Think about how much Microsoft will be able to revitalize the Windows gaming platform by saying, hey, we're bringing Call of Duty back to PCs.
Yeah,
because they could totally do that.
Yeah, because there's Valve with Steam and the Steam Deck competing almost directly with Xbox PC platform, whatever they call that. I don't know.
I say that Valve has actually been not caring. It's like, they put stuff into VR, they put stuff into Steam Deck. Do they really care anymore about, putting priority into, well, I guess they don't even need to do priority into, like, just Steam and PCs in general. It's already the best they can do. I don't know.
They don't necessarily need to do their own IPs so much. They make so much off of the Steam store in general.
Well, it remains to be seen whether that will be the case
change?
anymore because of the Windows gaming thing, and because we don't know whether the Steam Deck will be profitable or not. Like Piddle posted an article like, or he posted like, I saw God of War being played on a Steam Deck. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Will people buy it? Will it be a profitable device? Like, will it work?
I'm still interested in it.
Intended?
And what will be the ease of release? Like, Steam is an indie powerhouse. The Steam platform is absurd for indie gaming.
Also,
Nintendo
Steam is just such a great video game store.
Nintendo is also, and it remains to be seen what the Xbox, PC, Game Pass, and etc. storefront will look like on the indie front, because, the indie scene is sort of like one of the big waves of the future, and honestly, the waves of the present. Let's talk about it as it is.
Well, and you're right, Zyber. Steam is an excellent store, but they're getting squeezed because with Game Pass, if a lot of indies are coming to Game Pass, if a lot of indies are coming to Switch, and people like playing indie games on their Switch, we could see Valve like kind of getting squeezed a little bit by this acquisition, especially if the Windows gaming thing comes to fruition. It's not just Sony; other companies are in trouble too, potentially.
And then other than Valve, the only one that comes to my head is Ubisoft is another one of the remaining big.
Oh, who cares about Ubisoft?
And that's exactly the point. Who cares about Ubisoft? And what else is there?
EA,
yeah, good point. EA and WB Games and all that. Which, again...
more breaking news. Microsoft has purchased the rights to the NFL Players Association. They now own all of those. Microsoft now owns all of the players.
Well, and think about it, because the Star Wars license is no longer exclusive to EA, and that was another one of the big things for EA, other than the sports
it's a
branch.
Good thing too.
Yeah, it's really a good thing. But nobody likes EA, so they're off on their own, somehow still making money. But
in general,
honestly, at this point, you gotta wonder if the writing's on the wall, and Microsoft may or may not buy EA coming up. They've already bought ZeniMax and Activision.
There's been talk about Microsoft buying EA for a decade. If it hasn't happened yet, it didn't happen in 2009 when EA was at its weakest. I don't know that it's going to happen now.
I'm really curious. King is technically in that purchase. Is Microsoft going to care at all about mobile gaming, or?
Yes.
Mobile gaming is the biggest cash cow of all, which is partially why this deal is so... Honestly, the Call of Duty thing is easy for us to talk about, but the mobile gaming part is probably a huge chunk of that $68 billion that they spent for this company.
There's absolutely a reason that one of the big things that was posted on the announcement was Candy Crush. because...
Dude, people play Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. It's going to be the new Minecraft.
Microsoft owns Minecraft. That was probably another one of the top 5 cash cow franchises. So.
Yeah, and you say, oh, there's been talk about EA. Well, in the past it was just talk, but now Microsoft is making all these acquisitions. Like, it's
That's true.
kind of more realistic now, honestly.
Microsoft.
Yeah, you know what?
Disney.
You're right. Oh,
Well, the old Disney too, but
imagine a world controlled by Microsoft and Disney.
Come on, Apple, step it up, start buying stuff.
Oh, just don't. And then Apple's involved. Like, the whole thing.
Did you mean the world we live in now?
I hate it. I hate it, every bit of it.
I don't know. So, like, I mean, there's also Tencent, like, that owns a bunch of video game related stuff.
I hate every bit of it.
Tencent is the biggest video game company on the planet currently.
You know, that's probably why Microsoft is able to just buy all this stuff, because there's Tencent. So it's like, oh, there's no monopoly. There's just a binopoly.
It's Tencent, then Sony, then Microsoft, and that's after this deal goes through. That is
Sony is not a bigger video game company than Microsoft.
According to business platforms in like the business financial world, Sony's bigger than Microsoft.
I need to have a word with the business financial platform, because Sony makes TVs, which is not exactly like the world's most profitable industry. They make computers, which Microsoft installs software on, which you have to subscribe to now.
Let me talk that back. I'm talking about the actual video game industry. So I'm talking not Microsoft in general. Microsoft Gaming, Sony Gaming. So it's Tencent, then Sony Gaming, then Microsoft Gaming.
Thank you for correcting that, because I was about to go on a big tangent about how PlayStation is like the only thing about Sony that works, and like it's a terrible company, and like I don't even understand how they still exist anymore, and it's basically because of PlayStation, and now that is in jeopardy. Sony should be freaking the F out right now, and I'm sure they are.
Maybe they should follow the path of Nintendo and start selling love hotels.
Would you go to the Sony Love Hotel? Don't say no. I'll know you're not telling the truth.
If you say no, you're lying. Man,
shaped
wait, hold on.
Crash Bandicoot.
I was thinking like...
Which Microsoft owns now. Oh, my brain
just... You just open the hotel door and you see a PSVR headset.
Oh.
It's just a life-size statue of Kratos.
Then you put the VR headset on and it's real.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to know what's under his life-size loincloth.
It's the PSVR, too.
I don't know that I want that product anymore.
It wants you.
Oh, God.